Hi, welcome to Quilt North, block of the month for 2025 and 2026, called Nordic Echo. This is our month 4 block tutorial, and here is what you should have received in your kit. You're going to have 4 large navy and 4 large teal triangles, and then 4 small gray, 4 small teal, and 4 small navy triangles, and then 1 white square. The first unit we're going to make is going to be an economy block. We've done quite a few, I think we've done a couple of these at this point. So you're going to take your white square and sew on 2 sides, 2 alternate sides, whichever ones work. It's all going to kind of come out the same either way. So line up those corners, sew them right across, and then we're just going to press, just like the directions say, towards the gray triangles, away from the white square. That's where, it's how I find it lines up the best and everything kind of has the best result. It's pretty simple. We're just going to do that, and then I'm going to show you the next step is just to sew on the 2 opposite sides. I just want to remind everyone, if for some reason you didn't get something in your kit or you have a question, please feel free to use the contact info that should be in both the newsletters and on all the instruction sheets to email me or text me. Text is always great. So just, you can see that, and then I'm showing you the pressing. Here we are. And we're going to move on to our next unit. The next unit we have is, again, something we've done a few of in this block of the month so far, and we'll continue to do. It's a flying geese unit. It's made up of the large navy and 2 each of the small teal. You do have to sew on one side and press it before sewing on the other, just like many of the other units. So this is just me sewing on the first side and then pressing towards the smaller teal triangle. And then we're just going to sew on the other side. So here we are sewing on the other side. Line up the engineer corner. It should match up really well, and that'll give you the best unit to make sure everything is, lined up, and you're going to keep your points when you're sewing everything together. Okay, so we're going to move on to the center portion of kind of the rows of the block, the outside rows, and I called these 5 triangle rows. You're going to need 2 of the large teal for each unit. You're going to need 2 of the large teal triangles and 1 of the large navy, and you're going to sew on one side. When you're aligning this, try to just keep the seams or the edges kind of centered. Don't necessarily use the engineered corners in this case. That's just to get the best alignment, just center everything. I think this is the one I missed a couple, or I lost a couple video files in this. So this is our next step, is just going to be to sew on the other side of that unit. This does line up a little easier now because of the way I missed the sewing on that, but you can see we're just going to do the same thing we did last time and then press it open. Very easy. And then the last step of this unit is going to be to sew on 2 of the small navy triangles. I know I feel like I've said the word triangle a lot in this video. And those can be sewn on at the same time because the seams do not overlap. So just sew on 1 of each side. And as you can see here, I'm just going to do the first 2, take it off the machine. You don't have to press it, just spin it and do both of the other ones. So again, I missed a few things here. In this one, I missed the pressing right after this, but you're just going to press these back towards the navy, so towards the smaller triangle. Our next unit is going to be the center row of the block. We're going to take 2 of those 2 flying geese pointing the navy triangle towards the center or economy block, and we're just going to sew those on. In the center here, between the first side and the second side, I show you how I like to pin this one. I like to take it and push the pin right through the triangle point and kind of push it all the way down, and not use that pin to pin, but then use 2 pins on the side of it to hold it in place. And that's just so I feel like I can get the points of the triangles lined up in the best way so that they look like they're coming right together. And make sure you don't run over your pins. It does happen, but you should try not to. So this I missed, again, missed the pressing. Just press those towards the economy block, but either direction doesn't nest at any point there, so it doesn't really matter which direction. And then we're going to sew on the 2 outside rows, those 5 triangle rows as they're titled in the directions. And again, you can kind of try to pin to get those triangle points to kind of go nose to nose, the navy and the white one, so that they really are quite lined up. And you can also try to get those teal triangles lined up so that it really gives that nice squared off effect around the economy block. Here is our final block. I just pressed back towards the thinner edge row units. This is it for month 4. If you have any questions, again, please feel free to text or email, and happy sewing.